Hi everyone, Angus Gordon here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be going over the importance of self-awareness and introspection and how it brought me from a very low point in my life to where I am today, a much stronger, much healthier, a much fitter version of where I was. So if that's something you're interested in and you are keen on learning a bit about introspection and self-awareness, stick around for today's video. Firstly, self-awareness. Self-awareness is described as the ability to see ourselves clearly through introspection and reflection. Personally, I would describe self-awareness as the continuous acknowledgement of our strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats that we have faced, are facing currently and will face in the future. So some of the benefits of self-awareness are the fact that it makes us more proactive, it increases our self-acceptance, and it also makes us much better at improving our self-esteem. In essence, it allows us to take our personal and professional journey as far as we're willing to go. How did I become more self-aware? It was things such as solitude, spending time on my own and really thinking or meta-thinking, thinking about how I was thinking. I really went deep inside myself and tried to work out why I was doing the things I was doing. Reading was also a huge factor in improving my self-awareness, because by reading works of certain people or certain psychologists or certain philosophers such as Marcus Aurelius, it enabled me to work out why I was reacting to certain things the way I was. And finally, something which really helped me was reflection. At the end of every day, at the end of every week, at the end of every month, I would look back and look at the good, look at the bad, and look at what I could do moving forward to improve my chances of accomplishing the things I set out to do. Some of the things that you can do to improve your self-awareness would be things like journaling, just writing down your thoughts and writing down at the end of the day, like I said, what was good, what was bad, and what you can do to improve tomorrow. Another thing would be reading. Go and read Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. We'll get into that in another video, but that's a really good start, especially things from old philosophers or Stoic philosophers, because Stoicism is all about sort of adversity and dealing with difficult things. To be self-aware, you have to obviously acknowledge the fact you're going to be dealing with a lot of difficult things as you progress through life. Reading is extremely important, and there are countless, I could name books and books, or you can just Google it and look up anything by, like I said, any Stoic philosophers. But reading and looking into how to improve your self-awareness through reading is a very big step. Whether that's mowing the lawn, going on a long run, or doing something which requires little skill but cognitive connection. As long as you're doing something that your mind's connected to, the long runs, anything, or like a long walk for instance, is very good because it allows you to think whilst doing something else. You're ticking over, your subconscious is working. Anything that you're not directly thinking but thinking, if that makes sense. It's like meditation but passive meditation. You're doing it through doing something else. Meditation is also another great tool for practicing self-awareness, but I have not yet myself mastered it. I've tried it quite a lot, but I find it quite difficult. But everything online has always suggested that meditation is great for sort of retracing into yourself and working yourself out. So what I just mentioned is a great sort of point, because not everything that we try is going to work. Not every different technique or tool that we can use to improve self-awareness is going to work for everyone. It's about throwing mud at the wall and seeing what sticks. You have to sit there and throw all these different methods or techniques or tools, or even encounter them. You have to try your hardest to see these different ways of actually invoking or practicing or mastering self-awareness, because there is not one size that fits all. You have to go out and experiment with what works for you, whether it's reading, whether it's journaling, whether it's meditating, whether it's going on a long run. You have to work out what method really gets you thinking deep and enables you to carry out self-awareness in the most efficient manner. Being self-aware is not be all and end all. Just because you're self-aware, it doesn't mean all of a sudden your life is going to change. But the fact that you are aware of a problem, or the fact you're aware of an opportunity, or you're aware of a threat, the fact you're aware of the things that need to change inside you, no matter what they are, is the first step. Once you have that first step, or once you are aware, you can start taking the different steps to achieve whatever it is you're trying to change. There's not, one glove or one size fits all. It's very difficult for me to say how someone can really start their self-awareness journey. But the fact you know something needs to change enables you to go and do a field study of different ways that you can actually improve the thing that you're trying to improve. Knowing or accepting or just being aware is the first step. So although there is not one size fits all when it comes to the proper way of taking action on the things you know you need to change, once you are self-aware or once you have identified the thing inside you or circumstantially that you want to change or improve, you can break it down. And by doing that and by breaking it down, you enable just a small bit of action to start a cascading or to start a snowball effect, building momentum. Starting is probably, next to just being aware, one of the most important steps to actually taking action, just starting. And obviously that can be quite cliche, but friction is one of the biggest things that's going to stop you, and friction will come at you from every angle. You're going to be faced with different things that are going to try and stop you, because we don't like doing difficult things, and changing something which we're aware of that needs to be changed inside us is a difficult thing. So just breaking it down and doing 1/5 of those 5 things that need to be done to achieve that one goal you want, whether it's inside or, like I said, circumstantially, the action of starting will help get that ball rolling. So now going to move on to introspection. And introspection is the understanding of our psychological and emotional reactions, why we respond to things in the way that we do. It's a very important aspect of, the whole self-awareness or the whole personal development game, if you will, to understand what triggers us, what motivates us, what stops us, what boosts us. There are so many different things inside us which we don't realize are happening because of our environment. If you can really understand what kicks you up the arse or what gets you moving, if you can understand that, if you can understand what stops you or what hinders your progress, then you can do your best to put yourself in the situations which either accelerate you, or you can do your best to avoid the situations which are going to stop you making the progress. So the benefits of introspection, similar to self-awareness: personal knowledge, understanding why we do what we do. Another one is it helps us connect our experiences to our reactions. And that's a really important thing, as I just went over. If you can put yourself in the experiences which invoke the best reactions, it's a win-win. The only way that I practice introspection solely, other than the self-awareness things that I went through, such as, journaling and reading and running and anything which requires me to sort of go deep. Another thing is continuous self-assessment. So for proper introspection, continuous self-assessment is great, because if you can understand that you just did 2 hours of amazing deep work because you had a great song on, write it down and realize that you obviously perform well when you hear that type of music. Self-assessment is what I'm getting at. And if you can understand, I just did 3 hours, let's say, of poor work, or I just did an absolute terrible run because you connected the fact it was to do with a bad song, or you didn't have the best food or the best diet that morning, whatever it is, if you can actually understand why you didn't perform well or why you did perform well, it's a win-win. So anytime I notice good or bad reactions in my life, I try my hardest to figure out what caused them. Because self-awareness and introspection are such important parts to our personal and professional development, I include it a lot in my personal and professional development plans for myself. And that's why when it came to producing a planner that I wanted to release to my clients and furthermore to the public, because I'd had quite a lot of good reviews about it and people sort of commending it, I decided to really force or really push the introspection and self-awareness part of that planner. And in the start of the planner, the user is encouraged to go through a series of questions and really thought-provoking pages that enable them to position themselves in the present where they want to be in the future. That's why obviously the PRJX Planner is something I am extremely proud to sort of announce or bring to the world, because I believe it's going to be one of the most impactful self-mastery and professional progression planners on the market. I believe that if you have something you want to achieve, this planner will encompass a majority of the techniques it takes to fundamentally boost your personal and professional development. This planner changed my life, and I'm extremely confident it can do the same for you. If that's something you're interested in, check out the link in the description below for the Kickstarter campaign that I've put together, where you will see in detail everything to do with this planner and how it could help you. If you found this video useful in regard to self-awareness and introspection, and you got any value from it whatsoever, please drop a like, a comment, shoot me a message, share this with someone that you think could gain some value from it as well. And yeah, thank you very much.